Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Thursday, January 30, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, more teachers impacted by administrative delays in increment payments. Feinstein Group will appeal State Bank extension acquisition ruling. And Dr. Leroy Almendarez no longer SSB CEO. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
February. Belize, we're ready.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. On Wednesday, Nadia Martin-Kaliz, the national president of the Belize National Teachers Union, reported that more teachers will be impacted this payday from issues with the payment of their increments. These newly impacted teachers are teachers who received their increments in December. Here is how she explained the administrative issues that are causing this new delay.
Some teachers will receive the same salary they received in December, meaning the increments will not be reflected. We don't pay teachers, so when we received that information, we had to ask them for clarity because we needed to know if it was true and the reason behind that. The ministry responded to us yesterday, and I must thank them for their honesty, and I thank them for responding. They're not in a good position, and because I know that my teachers are not going to be happy, but I do understand the reason for the decision. What happened? In December, you were paid your increment via the management. That was their attempt at doing the right thing. Now, some management did not calculate your increments correctly. Some of you were paid more, some of you were paid less. Same thing with allowances, because it all came together. Because you were not paid via the smart stream, Treasury cannot give account of those funds until the information or the record that they have from the management is correct. Not only that, they needed to deduct income tax for some of you, and that was not done. So they need to ascertain now the amount of taxes that you need to pay. Those of you who did not receive the right amount, you got less, they need to ensure that you get that. And those of you who got far more, they need to put a system in place to get that. That's the reality on the ground right now. So when you see your salary starting today, some of you will notice that. They have assured us that by the ending of February, all of you will be on the right pay scale.
These disruptions are separate from the 658 teachers that Martin-Kaliz said last reported were affected.
Now the 658, they have written on that too, because we provided them with the list of names, your name, your school, your management. And they have written back stating that they've already divided up the names according to the management, and they have different persons looking into your case. And they want to ensure that by the ending of February, majority of you or majority of the 658 is addressed, because some of your situations is beyond what even I imagine. Some of you might need affidavit, you might need a series of things. As a matter of fact, a teacher wrote us this morning, and from 2012, that teacher has been struggling with not being on the right point and on the right pay scale, or not being at the right point on the right pay scale. And that teacher is a part of our 658. But one thing I can tell you, since we started this campaign, that teacher has completed 7 different appraisals. So the work has begun. Members, we are going to be holding them accountable. We have to ensure that the persons who did not receive theirs. That's the reason why the council voted for us to do the No Teacher Left Behind campaign. And I'm looking forward to the countdown, because I strongly believe we will get to 0 faster than anybody can imagine. Believe you me. Your union is working for you. We're here to serve you. Your needs, our priority.
The Feinstein Group, in a press release today, announced it has asked its attorneys to immediately file an appeal of the High Court ruling Wednesday dismissing businessman Michael Feinstein's challenge of the government's acquisition of the 23.4-acre extension of State Bank Island. The group says it finds the ruling disappointing, but knew that when it took on the government, Atlantic Bank, and Honduran bankers, quote, it would be a long and difficult fight, end quote. Nonetheless, the group says it will not give up on and confident that on appeal, they will prove that the compulsory acquisition is unconstitutional and not for a genuine public purpose. The release states the Feinstein Group will use all resources at its disposal to defend itself and expose the wrongdoing of the government wherever it may lead, end quote. After just 5 months, Dr. Leroy Almendarez is no longer CEO at the Social Security Board. He took over the position in August of 2024 after his predecessor, Deborah Ruiz, reached retirement age. However, on Wednesday, the staff received an email notice from Human Resources informing that with immediate effect, Deputy CEO Jerome Palma would act as CEO until further notice. Our reports are that Almendarez and the board were not seeing eye to eye on some internal administrative matters. While people are speculating on social media that his departure may have something to do with the $7 million Caribbean Tires loan, Almendarez had reported to the media from over 2 months ago that the loan had been approved and that the paperwork was being finalized back then. The SSB this afternoon issued a statement regarding Almendarez's departure with immediate effect on January 29th. The board expressed gratitude to Dr. Almendarez for his contributions during his brief tenure and ascribed a quote to him that reads, quote, to be embraced by a management team and staff across all 9 branches is something I will treasure as we worked as a team in service to all, end quote. A young man is dead after being knocked down by a vehicle in the Altamira area of Corozal town. The incident occurred on Wednesday evening. The victim has been identified as 22-year-old Devon Chable. He was rushed to the Corozal Community Hospital for emergency treatment, but he later passed away. Police are investigating the incident. Meanwhile, a Corozal man was rushed to the Northern Regional Hospital after he was electrocuted when he came in contact with a high-tension wire. The incident happened this morning in the Josito layout in Corozal town. The man was working on the 2nd floor of a building under construction. The extent of his injuries is currently unknown. After the break, Marconi Leal Jr. to be endorsed as the PUP's BRN standard bearer. Stay with us. The People's United Party has announced that Marconi Leal Jr. will replace his father as standard bearer in the Belize Rural North Division. In a release today, the party stated that the executive committee for the division met on January 29th and unanimously decided for Leal Jr. to be endorsed. The national executive of the party met today and ratified the decision. A date will now be set for his formal swear-in. While the initial party release announcing Leal's departure from politics cited personal matters, our reports are that the senior Leal has been ailing for some time. Valentin Carrillo, the administrator of the Belize Marketing and Development Corporation, BMDC, explained that the initiative to do a test run of carrot juice production in collaboration with Siltgrass Farms down south was born out of a request from the Minister of Agriculture to explore ways to assist carrot farmers in San Carlos and Orange Walk, who seemingly on an annual basis are left with excess carrots in their fields. According to Carrillo, they had a very good test run, and now they are encouraging the Belizean public to support the farmers by purchasing the product. Carrillo said that on Wednesday they were scheduled to purchase 355-pound bags of carrots from the farmers to send to the facility for processing. He applauded the farmers for coming together to drop off the produce at a centralized location for pickup by the BMDC.
So we sent our first shipment last week, and this is what we have right now, the product, The taste is very good. It's 100%. It has a 120 days shelf life. Of course, you have to keep it refrigerated at a certain degree, but it's very good. At least we are alleviating some of the problems that the farmers are facing. I must say that the carrots that they are producing right now is of very good quality. So even fresh, it's selling very good. Because of the high supply, of course, the prices are down a little right now, But I believe that if we process some in carrot juice and it can stay for 4 months in refrigeration, then eventually the prices will be more favorable for the farmers. In the meanwhile, we're just trying to see how we can assist, and I ask the public, especially those that right now everything is healthy, and this is a healthy product, and we want to see how we reach out to the Belizean public to buy this healthy stuff, helping farmers and so forth. They are of high quality. I think Siltgrass Farms have their facility up to standard. They're BAHA certified and all those certificates. So the Belizean public will get good produce. We make sure that the refrigeration chain is not lost, and that's what we do, and make sure that the farmers get something out of their produce. We want to diminish or reduce losses when it comes to processing these products.
Carrillo described transportation as one of the challenges they need to address in the future.
Well, this is a first-time trial, so we need to continue studying it and see how best we can be more efficient. For example, transportation. From San Carlos to here, it's far. One thing, I think the road will be addressed, the infrastructure that will help a lot. And then from here to Siltgrass, so that's one of the main challenges, especially when you have to have refrigerated trucks to transport it. But yes, these things we will see how we address it, and I hope that it continues to be a viable venture for both the farmers and for BMDC.
The BMDC is marketing the products. With details, here is Program Officer Jasani Westby.
Been doing pop-ups. Today we were at SP promoting the raffle that we're doing. So part of that, we will be promoting the new carrot juice that BMDC has. We will be at Sugar City tomorrow. And Friday we'll be at 123 promoting these new products, providing samples to the customers and to whoever wants to come in. And tried this new product. I know that we are more looking into the health conscious aspect of it. So I encourage everybody to come along and try the products. It won't be at any cost. So we will be having samples for you guys. So when it comes to the carrots, adding value to these products, then it increase the price of the product itself, right? So buying one of these juices, then you can know that you are actually helping a farmer out there.
The price is $10 for a half gallon. The BMDC is currently marketing the product, which is currently at its depot and is expected to come to Belize City and reach San Pedro next week. They will announce via social media at what stores they will be available. In other news, a police officer who was stationed at the residence of the Governor General, Her Excellency Frula Zalam, is accused of fatally shooting her small pet dog. The officer was not criminally charged over the incident, but he has been dismissed from the department. On Wednesday, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams spoke of the incident. He said that other officers who have injured pet dogs have not been dismissed, as each incident is different.
As I've said before, that in other interviews, we really and truly do our best to hold officers accountable. And if we don't, you, the media, would be right up our ear, right? But we don't do it because we don't want you to be intrusive in us, right? We do it because it's the right thing to do. The public requires accountability from us. And that's why when people say that me as commissioner, I am too much in the media and this, that, I don't believe I'm in the media enough. Because as a public official, I am accountable to the public. And this is my way of accounting to the public in terms of what we do. So, when it comes to police officers who commit these grave infractions, we have to do what is right. The matter went before a tribunal. The tribunal found him guilty. Dismissal was recommended, and I upheld the decision of the adjudicator. I believe that, and I'm sure that the public in a whole is going to agree, that if you have a policeman who deliberately follows a dog and shoot and kill the dog, something wrong with you.
But hadn't there been diary entries about this dog being a fierce little dog, and he tended to give the officers who served duty there, tended to give them trouble?
Even if that were the case, at the particular moment when the dog was shot, that was not the case.
Heading into the last general elections, one of the promises in the manifesto for the PUP was to increase the rank and file of the Belize Police Department to a total of 4,000 officers. On Wednesday, Minister of Police Honorable Kareem Musa was asked if his administration had failed on this promise. Musa said that it is a 10-year plan.
I don't know what you think, how much space you think we have at the Police Training Academy, but we can only facilitate 225
Yeah, but you made the
recruits.
pledge.
Yes, it's over time. Have you heard that Plan Belize is a 10-year plan? Have you heard that yet? Okay, you're hearing it now.
You all are moving the goalposts.
No. But in the last 4 years, I can assure you, Jules, that we've had the most recruitments than any other administration. And I think our numbers are all the way up to 2,600, going up with the next recruit intake that's coming out in May. So every year we've had at least one, if not two, squads coming out from our PTA.
After the break, Belize City Council looking to use technology to better maintain the city. Stay tuned. Belize City, there are signs warning residents not to dump garbage in the area and that there is a penalty if caught doing so. Ironically though, garbage is seen piled up in many of those same areas. Today we asked Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner if the penalty has ever been enforced.
Yes, we have enforced on several occasions in Belize City. It carries a hefty fee and if caught in the act, but it's a joint effort between the DOE and the Belize City Council. But we have done enforce that on several occasions, but you have to have the real evidence, so it's really require participation from the community as well. If they see people dumping, if they could quickly notify the officials or enforcement team or the DOE, and then we could have that evidence to really ticket them and really pursue it the way we want to.
Back in 2022, the government of Japan signed an agreement to donate 2 garbage compactor trucks to the Belize City Council. The first was delivered in 2024, and this morning the second one was handed over to the Belize City Council. Mayor of Belize City, Bernard Wagner, spoke of how the first has helped the council and residents and how the second truck will further assist.
It help a lot because, as you know, in many of the south side areas we have a lot of hot spots, what we refer to as hot spots, which are abandoned properties that are used for garbage dumps. And so the current contract that we have with the Belize Waste Control does not provide for that type of pickup. And so having 2 trucks now to provide that service along with our dump trucks really have us operate much more efficiently and effectively. Residential garbage is supposed to be picked up by Belize Waste Control. However, we provide that sort of back end for those areas that people just dump garbage in areas that are abandoned, and so these 2 trucks really help us in alleviating that sort of behavior in our city.
So what is it that you do? You use these trucks to pick up the garbage and then you also, you hand it over to waste control? How does it work?
No, we take it to the dump site. These trucks take it to the dump site. Most of the time these are operational during the course of the day, but more so in the night times.
At the same ceremony, the Belize City Council showcased 12 new pickup trucks, 5 of them being electric, which the council will use across various departments. The mayor explained that the council traded in older pickup trucks they had bought in order to save on the new fleet.
Yeah, again, as you know, when we came into office in 2018, we only had like two pickup trucks to facilitate service for the city, enforcement, traffic management. And at that point in time in 2018, we made a loan for 12 trucks for a 5-year period. The trucks really did well for us. They performed well over that period of 5 years, but they deteriorated and depreciated over time. And so as to not have them depreciate to the point where you don't get back anything, what we have done with the existing trucks is trade those back in, and in return get these 12 new pickup trucks. 7 of them are diesel and 5 of them are EVs. And so with the trade-in value that we took in, it really lessened the amount, but the total value here, the 12 pickup trucks along with the 3 4-ton utility trucks really run us about $1.2 million.
In one final story from the Belize City Council, the mayor said the council will be using GIS technology to better monitor sections of the city to identify maintenance needs such as potholes, overgrown grass, damaged sidewalks, among others. He explained how he envisions the new system will function.
We know that the current system that we have in place has not worked. It does not work for the residents of the city, and we are very we are aware of that, and so we are working on a new system which will be really powered by GIS, where we'll be really dividing up the entire city, north side, south side, into different grids. We call them grids. 24 such grids have been identified. And what we'll be doing, we'll be having dedicated teams for each grid. So you'll have chopping team, you'll have pothole teams, you'll have drainage maintenance team within the scope of each grid, and they will be dedicated to that area. So it provides accountability that if I am in this area, I become familiar with the terrain, I become familiar with the residents in the area, and it is more responsive. Right, it becomes more responsive. I believe that the system we have in place, where somebody call and then your team run out there and go fix, hasn't worked. So what we are doing now is dissecting the city into 24 grids, powered by GIS, powered by a backup system of having the operators in place to respond and having the dedicated team for that specific area. So you are in King Street and we get a call in that potholes are there. That team that is dedicated for that area will be responsible, and so they will continue looping around that same zone to have everything maintained, drains, potholes, address every single complaint that a resident would normally do would be addressed.
As the principal recipient for the Global Fund Cycle 7 grant, the Ministry of Economic Development has partnered with the National AIDS Commission, Belize Family Life Association, Go Joven Belize, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This partnership will assist in the effort to advance Belize's national HIV response and meet its health objectives. With over $6 million Belize dollars in GCF funding, Belize will be able to meet the challenging 95-95-95 targets, which include making sure that 95% of people living with HIV are aware of their status. 95 of those who have been diagnosed are undergoing treatment, and 95% of those undergoing treatment have achieved viral suppression. Dr. Julio Sabido, CEO of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, said that the government of Belize is fully committed to the project and said his ministry has been investing in the country's health system and will continue to do so. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams on Wednesday fired back at former Police Minister Michael Perrafeet, who said that this week's UDP's press conference that the UDP can and will do a better job at reducing crime should they be voted in.
I'm not going to say that I am the best, but I can say to you that since I became the Commissioner of Police, I have worked tirelessly, and you know this, to guide my officers, work with the public with a view to reduce crime. And if you want to be honest, you can do the research, and your research will reveal that under my tenure as Commissioner, crime, particularly murders, have fallen. That is the facts say that, they're not me. The numbers will say that to you. So for Perrafeet to say that if they were to be elected, they were going to find a leader who is going to this, they were in office for 12 years. How they couldn't find that leader who could have done what they said they'll do now? And they expect that the public is going to believe what they're saying. They were given ample opportunities. They did not until later on, and I know that I was not Perrafeet's preference to be commissioner, right? It was the Prime Minister then, the Honorable Dean Barrow, preference that I be the commissioner, right? Perrafeet had a different choice, right? And I know that.
And David Daniel Smith is a Belizean animator and illustrator, as well as the owner of In Awe Films. Smith is known for his previous animated film Tekwani and the Duwende, which was released in 2019. Earlier this week, Smith told the media that he is working on an animated film based on the book, quote, Charon Flies His Kite, by Belizean author Harold Young. Smith also shared the struggles of being in the orange economy.
So currently I'm working on a short film for Dr. Harold Young's Charon Flies a Kite. And that should be out pretty soon, or trailer should be out pretty soon for that. And so apart from that, I'm also working on some personal projects that we want to get. We want to start telling Belizean stories and stories from the Belizean perspective. So it's exciting. It's exciting what's ahead for us. So being in the creative sector, specifically the animation industry, it's been quite a journey. It's kind of exciting to see now that the orange economy is actually picking up in Belize, but at first, it has been a very difficult journey because a lot of people did not understand the industry, understand the work it takes, also understand the quality, the standard that we need to reach, as well as the costing. So it was pretty hard to convince people that in the beginning what I'm doing is actually viable. But seeing now that animation is actually a multi-billion-dollar industry, it's about time that we get our share of the pie, in this. And it's pretty exciting to see where we're going and the next steps forward.
And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on the station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.